Welcome back to the show, everybody. We got a great one lined up for you this morning. Total market cap analysis. We're going to take a look at that. And this, I think, really is going to provide some perspective as we move towards the end of the year. XLM, there's a call for a breakout potentially to $1.85. We'll take a look at that. And is XRP preparing for a moonshot? And is there a secret? Is there something very special to keep an eye on right now that could actually be a leading indicator to prove that? We're going to take a look at that information from Coins Kid and also hear from Dark Defender. And we're going to recap because this has been a pretty incredible weekend for the SEC versus Ripple in favor of Ripple. We're going to cover all of that and more. Somebody roll that beautiful intro.
This is Digital Perspectives with Brad Kimes. Subscribe for new content notifications. Now, here's Brad Kimes. Come on in.
Welcome back to the show, everybody. You can follow me on Twitter at BackupBradleyAbove and everything that we're talking about here today. 2.117 trillion market cap for crypto. Yeah, let's talk about that. It's back up 1.47, almost 1.5%. Now, remember, 2.5, as you know, if you've been following the show, is the all-time high for the cryptocurrency market cap. We're getting closer to getting back to that number. A lot of people, technical analysts, believe, and myself included, that there's a strong chance that we see a real explosion sometime towards the end of the year here, October, November, December. It's not financial advice, but it does bode well for us to see some kind of a pop in crypto, some kind of a little bull run or a bull cycle, anything like that. So we'll keep an eye on it. Doesn't mean it's going to happen, but there is a likelihood, an indicator that says that may happen. And we'll get into some of those details as we move through the information today. Let's quickly go right here so we don't waste any time. 110.88 for XRP price. The low end of the range is 106.20. The upper end of the price range is 111.25. It's actually trading pretty tight and moving pretty tightly right now in its price range. We will get into that. I want to remind you guys, link2.com. It's private investing made simple. Yes, you have to be accredited, but they have the lowest height bar for accreditation, and I believe that's how you say it, to become accredited than any other company that I know of on the planet. Now, they still have to adhere to the FINRA, FinCEN, SEC guidelines, and that's why they can't open it up to everyone, because otherwise they would, because this is what they're trying to do. They really built a company that has the lowest height bar possible to meet the accredited status and requirements and allow you to be able to get these amazing products like Ripple, linked to itself, Uphold, Kraken, and Carbon, and all these other products and from these great industries. So make sure you check them out, and if you're not accredited, find out what you need to do to get accredited if you want these products. And by the way, this is great because I tell you all the time, because we know that Coinbase was on here at $32 a share and then it IPO'd for 400. Now it has since pulled back in price, but that is quite a swing when you're talking about riding private equity wave to the public IPO. That is pretty amazing. So make sure you check them out. Looking right here, John Deaton reminds us, as just a recap before we get into the amazing news that we have gotten over the weekend towards this Ripple SEC case here. John Deaton gives us a nice general reminder here that the above countries have affirmatively declared XRP not a security. There may be others: Canada, the United Kingdom, Japan, Singapore, and the UAE. Is a very good reminder before we get into this information, which is a recap of what we've learned since this weekend began. And the commission admits that before, the SEC commission admits that before the filing of the case against Ripple, third parties were not told about XRP being a security. In other words, until the suit was officially filed, there was only a few months before then that Ripple, in fact, was told XRP was a security, and the admission is that the commission never told another third party when asked about the status of XRP that it was a security in their eyes either. Very damning against the SEC and very much in support of the fair notice defense for Ripple. But there's more. This also is a very damning piece of information. John Deaton has done a great job letting all of us know this is not just about XRP sales being unregistered securities, OTC. Inside of the lawsuit itself, it does specifically state that the SEC also believes the asset XRP is in fact a security. So it's not just about the sales, it's about the asset being deemed a security as well in the lawsuit, which is a very big issue. What we see here from John Deaton is that it is an admission from the SEC that Ripple does not owe fiduciary duties to holders of XRP. That's coming directly from the commission, which is in direct conflict with them in trying to sue Ripple over the fact that they believe XRP is a security. Unless they want to argue the fact that they believe it's more like a bond designation than it is like a stock or share of Ripple. People say, well, what would it be a bond of? Well, it could be a bond of all the value that moves across the XRP ledger, which is a decentralized exchange, to the world. And the only reason I consider or we speculate on this idea of such a designation is because, one, I got a lot of real money invested in this stuff, and I know a lot of you hearing my voice do too. We can't turn a blind eye to other possibilities or potential outcomes. And an electronic designated bond designation would not harm the function or full-scale intended use of the XRP asset. In fact, quite opposite. If that were to take place, I believe what you've done is actually secure that the rest of the world will feel comfortable using the XRP asset, knowing that it's a jurisdictionless bond, much like the definition of a global stablecoin. And, let's take a look at that now, actually. Let's look at a global stablecoin definition according to the FSB, the Financial Stability Board from the G20. Let's take a look at that. And here it is right here. So looking at this, we see the FSB, the organization that coordinates the development of effective regulatory, supervisory, and other financial sector policies at international level, published its final report on the regulation, supervision, and oversight of global stablecoins, known as GSC. Arrangements, final report in October 2020, which we have covered that document heavily on this channel. I'm not going to go back into the document because I just want the definition of global stablecoin, which is a stablecoin, according to the FSB's definition, is a crypto asset that aims to maintain a stable value relative to a specified asset or a pool or basket of assets. Whereas the global stablecoin is a stablecoin which with a potential reach and adoption across multiple jurisdictions and the potential to achieve substantial volume. Now, I don't know if XRP gets the definition or designation at some point of a global stablecoin, but I believe that I understand how XRP, the asset, works and how it's supposed to get its value, which is liquidity plus utility over time equals value, which means to me, because the XRP ledger is a decentralized exchange, the more value that moves onto the network to use that network then really raises the amount of liquidity because they're moving to the network for the utility of the network, the speed, the efficiency, the scalability, the security. And by doing so, they bring this volume to the network, which then reflects in the price of the XRP token. If you look here and it says a pool or a basket of assets, then you could see that, all of these different assets from all of these different sectors of the economy, whether we're talking about commodities or derivatives or cash or reserves for private stable coins, CBDC reserves, all of these things, securities, tokenized securities, whether they be property or other items, all of this would be a pool that could represent the total value that's on the network, which could be reflected in the price of the XRP token. In that regard, I could see something like a global stablecoin or XRP fitting the bill for such a thing. Now, It doesn't mean that it's going to happen. It just means that there is a definition in the international level for a G20 level and G20 participants to understand that there is a role for something to play as a global stablecoin across the world. And the way it's designed and the way it's effectively represented here sounds like a modern version of a bond. The many different assets that back this representation of this global stablecoin or electronic digital bond, right, that could reach across multiple jurisdictions and the potential to achieve substantial volume. And the only way it could reach across multiple jurisdictions is if it doesn't challenge the sovereign fiat money around the world from the different governments. And the only way it could get that substantial volume is if it's not a threat in that manner, the way the world currently sees Bitcoin, to be honest. So it's just something to think about. It doesn't mean it has to be that. Look, I firmly believe personally that XRP is a virtual currency, just like Finn had said in 2015. But I think we should consider the idea of a security designation or classification that falls into a different designation than a stock of Ripple, because that's not what XRP is. But XRP certainly could be a digital bond issuance that represents the value that moves across the decentralized XRP ledger. Just a thought, not a sermon, right? It's a guy that says that. I think it's pretty cool. Anyway, looking right here, we need to find out more information than just the great information we found in support of Ripple's defense and case, but we need to find out who reviewed and helped write the Hinman speech. We have asked all of you to retweet and follow this because it is so important. We do need to find that out. Where is Hinman's calendar? Where are the 63 email drafts? And who was a part of helping those get those drafts done for that speech? And who, if any, purchased large quantities of Ethereum between December 2017 and June 13, 2018? If you want to know the numbers, 10,000 in Ethereum back at that time, which was an ICO buy-in, equals more net worth than Gary Gensler, which is about 122 million, they say. It doesn't stop there. This gets deeper. So this just isn't about, look, and Brad Garlinghouse has made a very clear point about the idea that, you know, this Ripple lawsuit is more than just about suing Ripple over XRP. This is about broadly about the market regulator doing a power grab and trying to grab this entire asset class. This is about all of crypto. We saw more evidence of that going into this weekend when Coinbase said, if you go ahead with your lending platform, we're going to sue you. Well, this is the proper response right here. Jeremy Hogan says, dear Coinbase, a nifty little litigation fact. It only costs about 10 to 20% more to defend two causes of action as compared to one. Meaning, if you're going to be sued by the SEC anyways, might as well relist XRP and risk taking on two lawsuits instead of just one. I mean, do we not love this guy? I mean, this guy's incredible. And then Seal says below here, hey, Jeremy, I think Coinbase would be wise to hire you to lead their dream team. And then Jeremy Hogan says, I'll do it if you do it. And I'll tell you what, it makes a lot of sense. I have said since we've heard this Coinbase news, I believe it'd be in Coinbase's best interest to relist XRP and bring as much attention to the idea that the SEC is absolutely, I believe, overreaching in a great degree here, but truthfully to put more pressure, because what is going to stop this and give us the clarity we need? It's not the SEC, because the SEC continues to sue people without any clarity, and they're doing it again. The SEC has charged Rivets Corp, as well as the president of Rivets Corp, the CEO of Rivets International, Stephen Spragg. The commission alleges that the companies have conducted an illegal and unregistered offering securities through an ICO. Now, listen, I'm not going to try to litigate that case over the show here. I don't know the details of it, but the point is that the SEC is not going to stop in litigation through, or I guess regulating through enforcement is the way I would like to say it. So the real answer for me here is, and they may have a case here, I don't know, but the real answer for me here is legislation. And that's scary because Congress very rarely gets things done right. Just like the last little debacle we saw through the Senate of just trying to get the verbiage proper for dealer broker for crypto. And they screwed that up. You know, it is more oftentimes that Congress will screw the pooch than actually get it right. So, you know, obviously it feels fleeting that they could get it right. But you know what? They need to get some kind of legislation adopted, whether it's the Securities Clarity Act, which I happen to like a lot. I think it's very definitive. It separates digital assets from an investment contract. And that kind of clarity right there could set this market free. So we shall see, but I do believe it is time for Congress to act on digital assets and give us some kind of template that we can move forward without stifling innovation and get the regulators back in their own lane. Now, looking right here, let's look at this because Coins Kid said that XLM Stellar looked at the cup and handle coming back up for support to break the high, and you'll see a nice pump to a minimal $1.85. How about that? Now, look, I mean, I'm just looking right here at what he's got here. And if we get what he's talking about and it pops, we could see $1.85 for XLM. You guys know I'm holding XLM. I don't have a problem at all with that. then we have here Coins Kid talking to us about the very key that we need to pay attention to, may become the secret to understanding whether we see XRP pop or not. And I'm going to play this very short video for you so you can hear him tell you. Here it is.
Right now, XRP, it is adhering to this level of resistance that I dropped in for you yesterday, so it's struggling to get above that. Also, equally, you know, you're hitting your head on the EMAs on the hourly time frame, and you're struggling to get through those as well. Yeah, so it is looking for sort of a retest of support at the moment. But in doing so, what you're doing here is you're forming a beautiful falling wedge at the moment. So I do anticipate that if you do start to break this level of resistance right here for XRP, you've got some kind of falling wedge on the go at the moment. If you do start to break this trend line, okay, this could be a nice little relief rally here, coming back up to where you form this. He's doing something like this. Look, boom, 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 boom. You're coming down. Let's say you roll over and come all the way down to 99 cents, which is, I think it's a technical target out of a horizontal that you fell out of. So let's say you do continue and you do something like this, okay, over, you know, the next sort of day or so, and then next week we start to break out of this. We're going to see a lovely little relief rally up to this level here, and that could be around about $1.16. So come to your charts, draw this particular trend line, okay. You see a lovely little relief rally, come back up to where you form this, and at that point I think you know, you crab up there basically over the next week or so, and then potentially another dump. This is what I'm looking at, some kind of ABC correction right there for XRP. Potentially, this is what I'm looking at, okay? So I'll always try and find you the little angles between, but one thing you do need to pay attention to moving forward, okay, is the daily RSI, okay? And if you remember what I said to you when you was up here overextended, I said, look, you're very overextended, you're very overbought, you're looking for a correction, and, you know, when it comes back down, back into the medium line, you know, that's always a good place to enter, isn't it? The absolute optimal place, if you can get it, obviously, is in the floor, like I've always shown you. Look, when you're in the floor, it's optimal entry point, and like I said to you, look, the stock doesn't hang around down there for too long, you know, at the optimal entry points basically. So what we're looking at, if we can, you know, in this correction, if we can get the RSI back down in this floor here, and with the stock being in the floor as well, fantastic entry point for you. Again, not financial advice, okay, not financial advice. So
damn right, not financial advice for him or me or anyone else, but I can tell you that looks extremely promising to me. And if we do see the RSI pull back that low again, I believe that sets us up for a big push up front. And we see that we still have all of that huge trend line there from that cup and handle. I still believe that. Well, actually, there's our cup and handle right there, and this is actually on the 1 day time frame he's on here. So yeah, you can see there's a cup and handle there, but a huge trend line here working. And if that all plays in, I mean, we may be right around this area where that line is, where we get a strong bounce and see that parabolic push to possibly the new all-time high for XRP, which would be $4.50 and above and beyond. We've heard $6.30 from Dark Defender. We've also heard $13 from both Coins Kid and Dark Defender, and then $20 plus from both of them as well. So taking a look here really quick before we get out of here, I think this is really pertinent to take a look at, because this is about the total market cap, which is the first thing we look at every single day on this channel. And what I like about it is that he shows us here crypto market cap bouncing on the floor at 1.414. See you at the 1.618, mate. It's all golden. And I love this. This was from yesterday. And what he's showing us here is that 1.414 has us at 1.8, and you see us touching there and then coming back up. And obviously, you know, we're at 2.1 or 2.1 plus right now, but 1.618 would put us at 2.92, almost 3 trillion, which would mean a new all-time high for the cryptocurrency market cap, which would mean that I would bet that the market's moving pretty good at that rate, a pretty good clip, and it'll be interesting to see where the money actually goes in that space. So that's going to do it for me. Make sure you hit the like, subscribe, leave a comment below, share with somebody you know. That's our recap from this week. There's been a lot go on, and I can't wait to see what goes on next week, because this is crypto, head on a swivel. You just never know. Make sure you check out all the links in the description and comment box. They're great specials and products that I use each and every day. And by the way, they're trusted, vetted links. So if you want to get those special deals, make sure you click the link. I'll catch all of you on the next one.